So this is part 2 of the Resident Evil Let's Play. John out here back with you. When we last played, we went through the intro cinematics and got the sword key. So now it's time to use the sword key in several spots in the mansion. So you said at the top of the stairs, and then at the beginning, as I mentioned, there was another sword key to use, and then the lockpick right across. So that 2 doors there is just going straight up the stairs, right through the double doors, right on the right side, and then this puts you in the dog whistle hallway and terrace. You notice on that side, as I entered the room, was a set of green herbs. So all we did was cut back out through that door, so you don't have to go through the sequences. Now that I have some bullets, and what I recommend that you do, especially playing through this game the first time, and pretty much anyone that's played this game, is if you know there are areas that you're going to have to backtrack often, it would make sense to clear those areas of any possible assailants that are there, enemies that are there, because all you're going to end up doing if you don't clear those rooms is end up taking unnecessary damage over and over and over again. So what you can also do, even though it takes up an item spot, and I threw a couple emergency swings there, is if the bullets knock down a zombie, you can take the knife to get a couple of stabs in, possibly take some HP away, and kill them without using any more bullets. So, if you're Chris, as you've seen right there, I already had 2 doors with Jill that I opened with the lockpick. You would have needed old keys to open those up. So you can see how, at the very least, it can be a very consuming process to have keys in your inventory. So, I haven't done a lot of inventory management yet, but as we go along, I'll make points in terms of what I'm taking with me and what I am leaving behind, because I don't want you to have to watch all that stuff. It's quite honestly very, very boring, and that's not what you're here for. You just want to see the game as quick as possible, and me to try to throw some stuff out there from side to side and keep it entertaining and keep it light. So, you see there's some zombies on the ground. New to this remake iteration is burning zombies while they're on the ground. You need a lighter and a fuel canteen to do this, but as you'd already seen when I picked up the broken shotgun, there is a kerosene canteen that you can use to refill once you pick up the fuel canteen. So, another sword key door. This is right when you go into the mansion. Go right to the right where you picked up the map. That's where this is. There's a couple spots in this room. You move items around, you pick up handgun bullets, you pick up a dagger. As I said before, and I'm going to say many times throughout these videos coming forward henceforth, do your exploration and do your due diligence. It can very well save your life finding health items, defense items, ammunition, anything. It pays to take your time and explore. And also, as I mentioned, clear out the rooms that you feel, that are near save points, that are near item boxes that you're going to be traversing, because you only have a limited amount of item space. So keep those areas clear as much as possible. Yet another lockpick door, another old key door. This room is filled on the outside with dogs, but there are plenty of herbs for you to grab and a chemical to use on plants. So you're going to need that later. You don't have to pick up any of this stuff now, but if you have the inventory space, I would suggest you do all that stuff. So as I was going through this, I was trying to gather in my head how much inventory spaces that I needed. So, I accidentally clicked no a couple times in there, and I'm walking slow. I'm not using the square button here to run. I'm not using any of that stuff there because I don't want to attract any unneeded attention. Because once those dogs jump out, it's all systems go. You got to get the hell out of there. So, long story short, gather those herbs, gather everything else that you need, and move forward once you can get through this room. And taking the chemical, I think, is what also activates those dogs. And running. So make your way away from this room, and you will eventually, as we go down the hallway, get to another door that allows you to pick up the shotgun. Now, if you're playing as Jill and you do not have the broken shotgun in your inventory, and you take the shotgun from the panel on the wall, Barry will come in before the ceiling crushes you and you press the X button on the door for him to kick it in. He can save your life. If you're playing as Chris and you don't have the broken shotgun and you take it from the mantle, you're screwed. There's no way out. So it just makes sense to pick up the broken shotgun from the initial save spot that I showed you at the very beginning of this video. You know, right across from that, pick up that shotgun, pick up that battery pack. That's also where one of the kerosene refillers is at. You know, pick up the broken shotgun, get the shotgun, and in this game, especially in the remake, obviously you can, you know, aim straight ahead if you use R1 or the right bumper, and then if you modify it, you can, you know, press up on the left stick to aim up toward the head or down toward the legs. But especially with the shotgun, if you aim toward the head of a zombie, you have a really good chance of decapitating it, which allows you to not have to use a fuel from the fuel canteen because the zombie's not going to return. If you do not burn the bodies, they will return more powerful than ever later in the game. So do your due diligence. You're not going to see a lot of that stuff from me in these videos because it'd be a lot of backtracking to go ahead and burn bodies and things like that. But I will make note of it when I do so. So, another save spot here. Loaded with zombies. There you go. Headshot there, decapitation. So, in that sense, there is no worries about him coming back to life. So, that is nice to have. You might think it's a waste of shotgun, but considering using only one shell per zombie, and if it doesn't kill them, you know, you can go back and soften it up with a knife or a handgun bullet and finish the job there, instead of just using all of your handgun ammo. So blew off an arm there, but he's still kicking. So it's time to soften him up and finish out the job here. So it was only one other bullet, and this is unnormal, like I said, by the way. So that was a shotgun shell, just a bullet there, knocks him down, and then one's already decapitated. So there's 2 zombies on this floor that need to be burned. Here is another save point. This also has another kerosene thing, and the fuel canteen is on the ground. So you pick up the fuel canteen, you have that in your inventory spot that fills up the kerosene. You can fill it up a couple times, and then the container is empty. So you can hold 2 uses at once. You fill it up once, you get 2 more uses, and then that's it. So I think you can get 2 fill-ups, and that's all you can get there. So since I don't have the lighter yet, but I'm going to be getting it shortly, I'm leaving the fuel canteen there. We will come back and burn those zombie bodies as quickly as possible, but we need to go pick up the lighter first. So it does feel good right now to have this area clear, with the exception of burning them. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to try to clear out some of these areas, because I'm going to be going to these spots a couple of times throughout the game. So there's another decapitation right there off of a headshot. So no need to worry about that one. I'll explain what all the items are used for as we go along too. So basically with these fixed camera angles, what I'm trying to do is leave myself enough space so that I know when the zombie's coming, get my shot off, and then, you know, back up and get out of there, because otherwise I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. Again, especially playing as Jill, you take damage very, very, very quickly, so you got to be careful here. I wasn't sure if he was dead because he got the red carpet and the red blood. I couldn't see anything, so a couple you know, not needed slashes there, but just trying to be a little precautious. So just toward the right there, this is where you're going to get the dog whistle and the lighter. Now we've already past the area where you use the dog whistle, because that's those terraces I mentioned with all those green herbs. The green herbs, you can use them, I believe, 3 times on normal difficulty. I'm not sure if it's more on the other difficulties on the lesser, because I think you start with very easy, easy, and normal. You know, the top question is normal, and the 2 below that is subsequently easy and very easy. And you get in the other difficulties by completing the game. So you can make use of that terrace with those herbs, and also I have to blow the dog whistle there anyway. So after that fight, because I'm pretty much out of shotgun shells here at this point, because I've been kind of clearing things out, I'm going to need to heal myself. Because in that memo that you just saw, again, you can slow down the video if you want to read some of that more, but the memo basically mentioned that there is a hidden key or something that you need to pick up off of that dog. But the dog is very, very menacing, and no doubt, considering I don't have a lot of heavy weapons right now in my inventory, I'm going to need to take it out with a handgun. And, you know, just sustaining damage is something that I don't want to do with Jill. So thankfully, in that fight, there is an easy place to re-heal myself and get everything done. So right now, basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this clip here. But I'm going back up to the areas, you know, the 2 zombies up here, and then just where I was with the dog whistle and all that, and burn the bodies. So you're not going to see that there, but it's pretty much just going to the inventory, selecting the fuel canteen, and then that's pretty much it. So we're back outside in the terrace. I blow the dog whistle, and immediately, you know, the thing shoots out like a bat out of hell, 1,000,000 miles an hour. If you got your defensive items, if you want to use them, you can stab the dog and stuff like that. I think I have some of that stuff off right now, because I know that I'm going to be able to heal up. So basically, if you get grabbed, and it doesn't matter what enemy it is, if you get grabbed, you need to move the directional, the analog stick, the buttons. You need to do rapid tap, because if you don't, the enemy is just going to continually take damage on you until you die. So it pays for you to be very observant, and when you're under attack, you mash those buttons and try to get away. So the 1 dog is dead, and I'm on red caution. So, like right now, I should honestly be going up there to heal myself, because pretty much another bite, I'm going to be dead. So I'm playing Russian roulette right now. And I believe that was going to be my last hit there, so I went right down to the wire. And I also probably missed 2 or 3 shots from that handgun. So examine that dog collar, and you will get a coin, and when you examine that, you get an imitation of a key. Now basically, you're going to use that key imitation right where you were from the very beginning. Right after you found that tape of Kenneth from the first zombie in the game, you're going to go right back out there, and from where I just cleared everything, from that initial save, I'm going to walk right back out. I don't believe any of this stuff is going to get cut too much. I'm just going to heal myself. But we're going to walk right back out through that white door, go right across, and take the shortcut that you just unlocked. And discard the dog whistle. So that's all I did, is I went out that door, I went right across the hallway, and back straight down. Not even down the stairs, just right through. So, as you see, the zombie wakes up as a more powerful zombie, a crimson head with claws and super speed and super strength. So if you don't burn those bodies, they will return as something much, much more menacing. So this puzzle is quite easy, but if you are reluctant to, you know, get the key imitation and see what happens, basically that spinning shield is going to kill you. That's all there is to it. So just swap keys and get the hell out of there. And I don't believe I do any cuts to this, so I'm just going to go straight back through that door, get out as quick as possible, and go back down those stairs again, because my main goal right now is to get away from that crimson head and also use the new key that we picked up. We're going to be coming to a close here in a few minutes for part 2 of the Resident Evil Let's Play. But as we go along, we're going to find some of our other STARS members and make our way and continue to make our way through this mansion. Hope you guys are enjoying the Let's Play so far. This is John on here with you. I'm your host. We're going to be playing through this game in its entirety, so if you have any questions, if I see any comments or anything come across, I will be happy to answer them. I feel confident in doing this as a Let's Play for like a first foray for myself because I want to do a game that I'm comfortable with, and I want to do a game that I'm a little bit knowledgeable about to try to keep things entertaining and keep things fresh. But you know what, as we go along, and maybe some of these other things, Capcom has a couple other games that I'd like to check out, and you know, maybe Resident Evil 2 Remake will be something that I can end up doing as well, because, you know, basically Resident Evil 2 was one of the first games that I ever played as a survival horror part of it. I played the DualShock version on the PlayStation, and then the DualShock version of Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut, and then 3. So the PlayStation was very kind as a survival horror for me as a young kid growing up. You know, from the 1987 and on, I believe Resident Evil 1 came out in 1996. So still pretty young when I was playing it, probably about 98 when I first started. So 10, 11 years old, probably a little too young to be playing that, but you know, fell in love with this game. But I got to admit, when I'm playing the first Resident Evil, not even the remake, but the first, it scared the bejesus out of me. But I'm sure a lot of us felt that way when we first played it. So I'm using the armor key, and just upstairs, you know, after we went through some of the other things, there's a couple doors that you see over there. Now, if I don't pick up the bazooka and just get the hell out of there from Forest will come back to life in the initial Resident Evil. You know, Barry will come out there, you'll have a cutscene, he'll hand you the bazooka, and that'll be that, and nothing will happen. But if you continue to make your trek straight down, and I tried to pick up the bazooka a couple times, but I got stuck in the text bubble. You got to be right on top of the item in order to pick it up. But if you continue to walk straight down, he'll come back to life, and you have a fight. There's a couple green herbs back there if you choose to take those, but you have to fight Forrest. Not worth it for me. We're doing pretty good on healing items and stuff like that, and if you kind of follow along as from what I'm doing, trying to do some fight or flight, you know, I'm not trying to fight everything, but I do want to get rid of the areas that I need to get rid of. You will be okay with ammunition and health items and stuff like that, even on a normal difficulty playthrough. So there was Forrest. And now we're going to meet up here with Richard. And this is where I'm going to close out part 2 of this video. And then when we come back, you'll obviously see what's going to happen in part 3. Have a good one, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Richard! What happened? You're wounded.
This whole place is a killing zone. There are monsters.
What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
Bring me serum. I saw some, but didn't bring any.
I'll go and get it, okay? You're gonna make it.
Thanks.